This is CBS.
Dandy goes up the ladder, then down the slide. Jim is swinging ever so high. Sky Scooter, teeter-totter, up, down. The Jim and Dandy playset, the function's in town.
Jim and Dandy, two twin dolls on their action swing set your parents helped put together for indoors and out. Plus monogrammed outfits.
Jim and Dandy, a girl, a boy. Two little twins and a whole lot of toys.
Jim and Dandy comes with everything you see here. From Ideal.
The Sleep and Dreams Test, tonight at 7.
Today, in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. None of you will leave this room. Tiamat.
Dungeons and Dragons will return after these messages.
Something's funny here.
McDonald's Happy Meal.
Hamburger.
Soft drink. All regular size.
You guys are top drawer.
The McDonald's Ship-Shape Happy Meal fleet is here.
It floats.
You can get one of 4 different ships each time you buy a Happy Meal at McDonald's. There's a new one each week with stickers you can put on yourself.
It's round.
Ship-Shape Happy Meal boxes at participating McDonald's.
Here's Wet Banana. You can dash and splash on Wet Banana like Billy. You can dip and slip like Ricky. Slippery wet fun for the whole gang. Could that be Mom on Wet Banana? It is. Regular Wet Banana, 25 feet long, and the new Wet Banana Super Slide, 30 feet long, each sold separately. Wet Banana Super Slide comes with 30-foot slide, banana sprinkler, and fastening hooks. From Cokie.
And now, back to Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons will return after these messages.
Let's lighten up, 3 musketeers, dig off and lighten up on a soft and puffy, smooth and fluffy cloud of chocolate pleasure. 3 musketeers, let's lighten up, come on, let's lighten up. You can take a flight with a chocolate bite. 3 musketeers, so delicious and delightful. A chocolate cloud in every bite. Ooh, lighten up on a chocolate cloud, lighten up.
Wow, let's go meet the Care Bear cousins.
Care Bears and new Care Bear cousins have play pieces, each set sold separately.
Grab your megaphone, Cheer Bear. It's sports day. Champ Bear, look at that skateboard go. Come on, Swift Heart Rabbit, hop to it. Hang on to your nice skates, Cozy Heart Penguin. I can't bear to watch. Whoops. Uh-oh. You okay? Yep, just warming up. What a good sport.
Champ Bear and Cozy Heart Penguin come with play pieces, posable figures sold separately, new from Kenner.
Today on CBS Story Break.
We have a crisis. Our cupboard is bare.
What do we do? We'll starve for sure.
The Great Ringtail Garbage Caper.
And now, back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my goodness, people. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday today. Oh man. I'm really not even 100% feeling this today. But we're gonna do our best. We're gonna get through it together, folks. We're gonna get through it together. We I mean, how am I not gonna cover this dude, bro? how am I not gonna cover this guy's like man? I see my man Morbid's in the chat. What's up? Let me give some shout outs, man. I don't do that enough, man. I'm gonna give some shout outs to Team Brittany's here, Cherry, of course. Always lovely to see you. And Nicole B, K Rochelle, Lost Mother of One, Selena. It's good to see you again. Kim, 5150 Street. I'm just randomly reading these names off, like just saying. Okie Crime News is a member for 1 month. Welcome. Hi back. Puzzled to Pieces. Oh man. Yeah, if you can correct Morbid's grammar while you're at it, Cherry, that would be lovely. Oh man, William Eyelash. Okay. I don't get it, but you win handle of the day so far. Brother Preach. Holy shit. My man's in here, Brother Preach. It's good to see you, dude. Y'all subscribe to Brother Preach. I have a hard time like looking for his channel, man, but he's got some really sick music and I really dig it a lot. And I think this guy's got a heart of gold, man. So if you guys go subscribe to Brother Preach, listen to his music, man, that would be great. So wait a second. I love when I get these DMs. Okay, so somebody what's up, Burden of Proof? Somebody left a comment, and of course somebody took a screenshot and sent it to me that it says it's from somebody named the Fraud Squad 4551. The Glare and Psychobabble, many others in parentheses, are going to tear T-A-R-E, okay, tear the story recap apart. You forget, the internet is forever. We who have been paying attention over the past year don't need a recap. We remember, if your lawyer is worth anything, he would tell you, Ryan Upchurch, that talking like this doesn't make you look more innocent. In fact, it's making look worse on you. If your legal counsel have advised you not to make more videos talking about this, I would listen to them. And if not, they are not good lawyers. Huh? What? Okay. Let's break this down for a second, because this is just, I love when people just send me shit like this on the fly. Oh, yes. This is Morbid's other channel right here. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. The Fighter, the Kid is what that channel's called. Good stuff. I love it. Make sure to subscribe to all of Morbid's channel that he wants us to know about. So, first of all, Psychobabble, I haven't even like paid attention to that dude since like a year ago. Like since he had like a meltdown like on somebody's channel. And we were doing good. Like I remember it was me It was me, morbid, or not morbid. It was me, Laura, obnoxiously irrelevant. Me, her, and that dude on his channel, and I can't remember who else, but Laura was trying to say that a gangbang means a rape. Obviously, she's never gone on the search engine of Pornhub and seen how consensual a gangbang can actually be. So that was her entire argument. I'll never forget that. It was pretty funny. So I'm not gonna get deep into that all over again, but yeah, Psycho Babble, I mean, he had a meltdown, and I feel bad. The dude, you know, he lost his son, and his son was a big Ryan Upchurch fan, and Ryan Upchurch, with his behavior and lacking the empathy for Kylie's family, well, he was upset, and he was speaking up against Ryan Upchurch, and I give him credit for that. But I just wish he would have, you know, not gotten so mad, but listen to me talking about people getting mad. So we're gonna tear this story recap apart. Everything about that sentence is absolutely correct, except for how you spelled tear. And he goes, you forget RY, the internet is forever. Yeah, we know. We remember the internet's forever. We count on the internet being forever. We're big fans of the internet being forever. We who have been paying attention over the past year don't need a recap. Yeah, see these people in here in my chat, they don't need a recap, but they sure fucking want one. Oh man. We remember, if your lawyer is worth anything, my lawyer, he would tell Ryan Upchurch that talking like this doesn't make you look more innocent. All right. If my lawyer is worth anything, he would tell Ryan Upchurch that talking like this, the recap, doesn't make me look more innocent. Innocent of what? In fact, it's just looking worse on you. It's just making it worse on you. If your legal counsel have advised you, they haven't, to not make more videos talking about this, I would listen to them. And if not, they are not good lawyers. Here's what I'm thinking. That's some fucking projecting right there. Because what's really funny is, I promise you that Ryan Upchurch has a lawyer, probably a decent one. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact that Ryan Upchurch has a litigation lawyer, because I saw her standing in front of Judge David Wolf and making a case against Ryan Upchurch's mother. I saw it myself. So, I guarantee you, I don't even need to go to law school. I don't even need to have a cereal box law degree that Bullhorn Betty has to tell you and know that that person is more than likely telling Ryan Upchurch to shut the fuck up. Guaranteed. Like this. Now, we also heard, whatchamacallit, Ask Matt. Better Ask Matt. We listened to him. He's the attorney who represented Ray Andriacchio in the Critical K defamation suit. The defamation ass kicking. That's what that was. And he stated on Down the Rabbit Hole News' channel, he seems like a problem client. I'm not a lawyer. I've never had a problem client before, but if I were to imagine a problem client, I'd say this dude right here is exactly that. So yeah, Better go over to homeboy and doesn't know what he's saying. I don't know. Now, maybe this person, maybe I'm reading this completely wrong. Maybe this person is addressing Ryan Upchurch. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, because I just read this as a let's be fair, because I'm human, people. Okay, I make mistakes. Okay, but there's a flip side to this, to the way this is written, and I think that that's actually how it's designed. Hold on, let me grab Mr. Harlan. Thank you so much. It would be nice if a tornado would pay Ryan Upchurch a nice visit. Don't say things like that. Likely that tornado will hit me too. Don't say that. Grandmaster, but thank you. Grandmaster said, Sophos, what a t-shirt. Elvis Presley, 8th degree black belt, American Kempo. Absolutely. He's the king, baby. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Grandmaster said, Sophos. Always appreciated, brother. So actually, I feel like, because this is actually the title of Ryan Upchurch is recap. So here I am making fun of this guy, mostly because he misspelled the word tear. I'm going to go ahead and apologize, and I'm going to read this again. Okay? Because I think that this was actually someone stating to Ryan Upchurch, dude, shut the fuck up. Listen to your lawyer. So I thought that it was directed towards me because it was sent to me. I apologize, Mr. Fraud Squad. I appreciate it. I misread. I apologize, because it didn't make sense. I was like, well, why are you talking to me about lawyers? And it just don't make sense. But let me read it again in the right context. So the Glare and Psychobabble, many others, are going to tear, sorry, I can't get over that spelling, this story recap apart. You forget Rye, the internet is forever. Okay, that's what he meant. Rye, he was short for Ryan. We who have been paying attention over the past year don't need a recap. We don't need a recap. We remember, if your lawyer is worth anything, it's a she. You know, let's be a little bit more progressive here. It is a she. Unless he got a new lawyer. We remember, if your lawyer is worth anything, she would tell Ryan Upchurch that talking like this doesn't make you look good, more innocent. In fact, it's just making it worse on you. Your legal counsel have advised you to make more videos talking about this. I would listen to them, and they are not good lawyers. Well, I guarantee you that his lawyer is telling him. I just don't think that he's listening. So again, Fraud Squad, I apologize for misreading your comment. I'm only human, people. And as I've stated before, I am a little stupid. So this is a fact about myself that I have embraced. So we're going to go ahead and go over this recap and see what's going on here.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ryan Upchurch. If you don't know me, I'm a musician for a living. Been a musician for about 15 years, about 9 years professionally. Also,
now let's see if his bitch ass strikes me again, because he, or if he's got it set to that thing or whatever. If it does happen, I do apologize, but we're just gonna keep going over it if it takes forever.
Obviously, been a YouTuber for a while. Have a lot of different hobbies, which you can see on my social media pages. I like making UTV vlogs. I like painting. I like drawing. Building stuff out of clay.
Bro, why are you talking like you're, what is this, a fucking video dating profile from the 90s, from a video dating service? Like, who gives a shit what you like, bro? Nobody gives a fuck what you like.
You name it, I got 1,000.
I like to embroider, you know, I like to cook, I like things a little bit spicy, I like to add things, you know, just to make it just a little bit spicy, but you know, I can't because it kind of gives me heartburn, so I can't do it all the time, but sometimes I just like being bad. Jesus fuck, dude.
Hobbies. But last year I come up on a new hobby, and that was watching this true crime shit that's on YouTube. And around that same time was when this missing person, Kiely Rodni, started popping up all over the internet. I never even knew about this section that was called true crime. I never knew of these true crime YouTubers. And at the time I was like, well, shit, I got 3 million subscribers. I can try to help find somebody. I have a lot of people all over the world that, got eyeballs.
No, we don't need you to help find somebody. We need you to just put the fucking picture out. When at the time where the status is she is just missing, just put the fucking picture out, put the name out, and say, hey, anybody in the California area or anywhere near that California area, keep your eyes peeled, please. I got people all over the place. Keep your eyes out. That's the responsible thing to do as a YouTuber with 3 million subscribers. Not try to solve the crime when you're clearly a fucking idiot.
I was like, look around. So I start clicking and watching these videos that people were talking about this Kiely Rodni girl and, where she was missing from and, all the logistics. And I started noticing there was some weird shit about some of these, in particular, true crime YouTubers. Now, before we go any further or get into this, let me give you some context by showing you a new.
So what this is, like, if you notice how he started off this video, this is very different from the last couple of videos that he started where he was putting these weird close-ups in his faces and going, I'm the #1 true crime investigator, and just being a fucking jackass, having absolutely no respect for the true crime community at all. And there are parts of the true crime community that absolutely deserve zero respect. And I'm with him on that. He's just focused on the wrong ones. But it's funny that all of a sudden, he is, just take note here, because he is, behaving a little bit more respectfully in this video. He wants to present himself in a much more respectable manner.
News clip from CBS Sacramento that's talking about this exact situation.
It's been 1 year since Kiely Rodni disappeared from a party at the Prosser family campground. The disappearance of the Truckee teen got the attention of people all across the country as thousands of tips poured into Placer County's tip line. Kiely was last seen at a high school party at that campground.
By the way, she didn't go to high school. Apparently, she was homeschooled.
At the time, Placer County officials said her Honda CR-V was missing.
I don't even know if that's true, but I'm sure shit not going to take his word for it. I don't even care if she was homeschooled. What difference does that fucking make?
And her cell phone was out of service.
By the way, there is absolutely no evidence that proves they found a cell phone. But apparently she was texting all of her friends that were also at this party.
Initially, the case was considered suspicious, even being investigated as a possible abduction.
If you're a teenager going to a party where there's drinking and hanging out and people have curfews, the first thing you're going to think is, okay, they're out with a boy or they're spending the night at a friend's house or they ain't trying to get in trouble when they're high. Why they said abduction off the rip, I have no idea. Not unless somebody called and was like, hey.
Because they also emphasized that people speculated foul play. If there's foul play, an abduction is involved. Even if they killed her and took her somewhere, that's an abduction. They grabbed her, they killed her, they put her somewhere. An abduction, foul play, almost exactly synonymous. You're not going to sit here and go, oh, well, why did they say abduction? Well, if you're saying that there's foul play, well, yeah, dude. An abduction is involved. If you're saying someone perpetrated her disappearance, then yes, an abduction is involved. Genius.
Like, hey, I think I just seen an abduction.
But 2 weeks later, and nearly 20,000 man-hours of searching in, Kiely's car was found in Prosser Lake. It was found by Adventurers with Purpose, a YouTube famous dive team. They said it was about 14 feet down, close to where Kiely was last seen.
Then I hear that. I'm just like, I don't get it. 20,000 man-hours in looking where this person went missing, and you can't find her around a 23,903.
Okay. That doesn't mean that there's a conspiracy, dude. And like these idiots, his whole community, because of this jackass, has been trying to act like there's some sort of conspiracy and the cops are trying to cover something up. Sometimes, and this is no disrespect to law enforcement generally, but those of us who follow cases understand that at times Law enforcement makes mistakes. Law enforcement may not, depending on the area, may not have the resources that a big city might have to cover all of to deal with a situation to the expectations of the whole world watching a high profile case. They might not just have the resources. It's a small town. Truckee's a small town. That's why they got help from other agencies, outside agencies to help. This happens all the time with different cases. All the time. This happens with different cases where if they lack certain resources, they get help from other outside agencies to help. That's what they did with Summer Wells. A lot of good that did so far. Sorry. But here's the thing is it doesn't necessarily mean they're incompetent either. It may just mean, like I said, that they just lack all the resources, and resources meaning anything. Resources meaning money, resources meaning manpower, resources meaning equipment. So it varies from the places where you live. So like today, okay, right now I'm in the middle of watching this documentary series. It's a 4-part series. I'm about to start episode 3, and it's about the Ken and Barbie killers in Canada. All right, now bear with me for a second here. I was astounded. I was absolutely fucking blown away, but yet I understood, because the cops totally dropped the ball on that case. Totally dropped the ball. So what happens is the Ken and Barbie killers, right? We've got the Ken and Barbie killers, and I'm not going to get into all the details on that case, but basically these two people were absolutely co-conspirators and a married couple, who were kidnapping women and assaulting them and then murdering them. They did this to 2 women that we know of in the documentary that I'm watching so far. I really don't know how many victims they actually had just yet. But at this point in the documentary, what's going on is this guy beats the shit out of his wife, his apparent co-conspirator, because they do call them the Ken and Barbie killers. So obviously this is going to go somewhere else moving forward. But at this point in the documentary, she gets abused and beaten by him. She goes to the cops and she says, my husband is the murderer of these 2 young girls, and he's also the serial rapist that nobody could catch and nobody knows who he is. So he is these things, and there is videotape. There's videotape proving this. He videotaped everything. Dude, Morbid, fucking time people out if you want, man. If they're being dicks, fuck them. They videotape everything. And wait, is Geek Squad in here? Oh no, never mind. I was thinking of the Geek Room. Never mind. I told you I'm not into this today, but I'm doing the best I can, folks. So bear with me. So they videotaped everything. This guy loved to videotape. He was the pure definition of a narcissist. Absolutely a narcissist. Not in the YouTube true crime definition that gets overused, where everybody who you just don't like is a narcissist. No, this guy was the real deal. And he videotaped everything, right? So she tells the cops in her statement that there is video footage of the things that he did. The cops, first of all, during the rape investigation, there is a composite made of him, and it's the most accurate composite I've ever seen in my life. I have to point that out. It is easily the most accurate composite I've ever seen, and it worked because tons of people who knew who this guy was like, hey, I know that guy. And I've heard him talk about raping girls. I've heard him talk about stalking women. I know that for a fact that he has actually gotten women drunk to where they can't even move, and then he rapes them. This guy is sick. Tons of red flags. I know who that guy is. You need to pick him up. And so finally they contact him, and he agrees to come in. This is before he's arrested for the murders, mind you. I'm kind of going back a little bit. So he goes in, he's super cooperative. And remember, this is also the late 80s, early 90s, right? DNA is very new. The technology of using DNA, very, very new. And it's so new that there's no swabbing. They actually have to prick your finger and actually get blood from you to test your DNA. And the science behind actually testing the DNA is very, very rare. So this is Canada, where people just don't commit crimes. Like at the time, Toronto was one of the safest places to live. Like the suburban areas of Toronto were the safest places to go to live. And there was just not, the concept of a serial rapist was just unheard of. So they didn't have the resources to even investigate this, but they didn't even know how to handle it. So you got to keep that into consideration. So then they test them for the DNA. They send the DNA out, even though the cops are thinking, why would the guy not ask for a warrant? Why would the guy just willingly give up his DNA? I mean, he was super cooperative, but they send it out to get tested anyway. It takes 2 years to get the results. They don't get the results for the DNA back until after he's arrested for the murders. I'm going to say that again. The results for the DNA that was taken voluntarily from him when he was a suspect of being a serial rapist doesn't get tested, and the results don't come back until 2 years later after he's arrested for these double murders. For this double murder, sorry. Well, it's not a double murder because it wasn't together. He killed 2 women separately. And I realize you guys are like, what does this have to do with Kiely Rodni? I'm making a point here as far as law enforcement goes and how things vary. Law enforcement are not always, even though they're trained professionals, they're not always prepared for certain things, depending on the area. These cops, they finally, after weeks of having him in custody, they still did not execute a search warrant for his house, even though they knew that the videotapes were going to be the strongest evidence against him. Why didn't they conduct and execute a search warrant for this house to get those videotapes? Finally, they do. Weeks later, finally they do. And for 10 weeks, they searched this house until the search warrant expires. The day that the search warrant expires, his attorney, the suspect's attorney, takes his clerk to the house. She goes through a garbage bag full of papers. She starts going through all the papers. Now, 10 weeks of searching this house, the cops tore this place apart. They tore up concrete. They tore up the walls. They tested everything for blood. They did everything that they could. Still no videotapes. They didn't turn up jack shit for evidence in this house. And soon as the search warrant expires, after 10 weeks of destroying this house, turning it upside down, almost literally, to get evidence, his attorney and his clerk walk in. She goes shuffling through some papers in a garbage bag. She finds a little piece of paper with a little note, and then she hands it to the lawyer, and then the lawyer's like, huh. He goes right to a light fixture, undoes the light fixture, sticks his arm in there, and reaches, and boom, there's all the videotapes. So now Amy Lynn, welcome. Appreciate you. Now the cops don't have the evidence that they were looking for, that they knew would convict this guy beyond a reasonable doubt, because they can't go by the wife's word, because any defense attorney is going to tear her apart on the stand. Any defense attorney is going to get her on the stand and say, well, I mean, why did you go into the police station in the first place? To file a domestic abuse report. Oh, so this could just be you getting back at him. You hate him. This could just be you getting back at him for beating the shit out of you, right? You hate him for this, right? So, and didn't you tell the police in a statement that death is too good for him? That you want to see him locked away for the rest of his life because death is too good for him. So right there, the defense is going to tear her apart, create all this doubt for the jury, and dude's going to walk. They need those videotapes. They failed to find those videotapes because they didn't have the foresight to look through a garbage bag full of full of little papers, the way that his attorney's clerk had the foresight to do. And now his attorney has possession of the evidence that could convict him. The last person that law enforcement wants to have that evidence has it now and found it fair and square. Why? Because law enforcement failed to find that evidence. It doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing necessarily. It just means that the police sometimes make mistakes. It is not suspicious that law enforcement searched the lake and did not find Kiely's car. They simply probably didn't have the resources. It's very, very, very easy to assume logically that AWP was able to find that car as quickly as they did, because what do they do for a living? They find cars in bodies of water. That's what they do. Solely, that's what they do. It is not suspicious in any way, shape, or form. Sorry I had to tell you that long story just to give you an example of how cops can make mistakes in high-profile cases. So, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, dude. For this guy to sit here and imply corruption and imply a conspiracy is absolutely asinine and insane.
Foot perimeter around a reservoir, especially when the town law enforcement is getting on TV holding a press conference telling you they had divers and sonars and they dragged the lake and all this shit, and then some YouTubers show up and find it in 14 minutes. Come on, Seth.
And then in October,
and I wonder how many of those cops actually have searched bodies of water. How often do they have to do that? In a quiet little place like Truckee. How often do they have to do that? How does that make sense?
Where the coroner's office ruled Kiely's death accidental.
Ruled as accidental, but she was found in the water in the very, very back of a CRV with some of the windows down.
And that actually, Mr. Number One True Crime Detective, one of the windows was broken and the other one was halfway down. Okay? And that was easily explained by other people who search bodies of water for vehicles and have been doing it for years and years and years. I forget who they are. Morbid, you know who they are. Who are that nice old couple? I forget their name, but Morbid, I know you went over this back in the day. But they verified that it almost every time that they find a body in a car in a body of water is because not Sam the Adventure Man, not him, Mo. But because the car is top heavy, or front heavy, I should say, front heavy. Let me just use my sanitizer's empty now. I'm trying to, I used to use visual aid. I'll just use my coffee creamer. Okay. Say this is Kylie's car. Okay. The engine is in the front of the car, the engine being easily the heaviest part of the car. So when it goes into a body of water, science dictates, physics dictates that it's going to go this way into the water. And as it goes in that way through the water, a window's going to break. And so what's going to happen is she's going to try to get out of the water, out of the car, but the force of the water is keeping her in. She's unable to get out of the car. So she's going to climb and go where the oxygen is until there's no more. That's going to inevitably lead her to the back of the car. Easy. Into the hatch area of the car. Okay? I mean, how hard is that to understand? It's very simple. It's very simple. Heavy part of the car, tilt, water filling up. You can't really see. It would be better if you could actually see the creamer here. But right here is where the creamer ends. And so if someone's in here, they're going to try to climb up this way to try to get air so they can breathe. That's what she did. Simple. But, you know, she had to have been placed back there. Okay.
Come on, son.
The Nevada County Sheriff's Office said the 16-year-old died from drowning.
But here's the thing. If you look up the autopsy report, it doesn't show any water in the lungs. How did she drown?
Okay. Okay. Give me just 1 second here. Sorry, I'm looking for something here. Let me let me do this. Gotta. Okay. I'm reading it right here. I just Googled, is water always found in lungs in drowning victims? Not all drowning victims literally inhale water into their lungs. The extreme sensitivity of upper airway passages often causes a laryngeal spasm, sealing off and preventing water from entering the lungs. These spasms lead to dry drowning. Okay? That's it. That's it. Hey, Ryan, Google is your friend, bro. It's that easy. Just Google it. It took me 10 seconds. Took me half of a Final Jeopardy song. Half of a Final Jeopardy song. Right there. Like, it causes a spasm to close off the lungs because it's an involuntary reflex to not get water in the lungs. You don't need water in the lungs to actually die from drowning.
If there's no water in there.
Officials said there was no indication of foul play.
All right, now that you're up to speed on what I'm talking about, and you just heard from CBS News, allegedly, what happened? And I know you can hear that it really doesn't make any sense. All right, so let's briefly recap that simple situation that apparently has happened. You have a girl that went to a party and a CRV. There's no pictures of this girl hardly on the internet. There's definitely absolutely no fucking videos. There's one video that's allegedly supposed to be her.
Right here, what he's doing is doubling down. Okay? This is what we like to call in the community doubling down. Because right here, he is backing himself up and saying, where are the pictures of Kiely Rodni? And there are a couple of people, a couple of creators that have actually posted pictures of Kiely Rodni, showing plenty of pictures of Kiely Rodni. And no, there doesn't necessarily have to be a video of Kiely Rodni at this party. Because not everybody is just shooting video at a party. I'm not interested in shooting video when I'm at a party. I'm interested in drinking and having a good time. I'm interested in interactment. That is what I'm interested in. Not, not everybody does that. In fact, most people don't. It does happen at parties, but it's not suspicious in any way, shape, or form that there was no definitive video of her at this party.
It's a little girl like playing a violin or something like 15 years ago, very shitty quality. So she's 16, 17 when she went missing. This video is from her being like 4 or 5 years old. So I don't know if it's her or not. No one does. There's no pictures of her beside a CRV. There's no videos of her and her friends. There's no pictures or videos of her at this party. There's no evidence of a phone.
Oh. Like, have you seen her mom? Like, does she come off like the type of lady who's all about tech? This is a woman who likes to live in the moment. You can tell. She is somebody who appreciates nature and probably has even, it might be fair to assume, somewhat of a resentment towards technical advancement, which is totally okay. But it's not suspicious that her mom wasn't all about taking pictures of her next to a car. Who cares? Not everybody does that. Maybe she saw that as a flex and was like, that's stupid. I hate when people take pictures next to their new car. I'm not going to do that. Who knows what her mom's reasons were for not taking a picture of her next to her new car? Who knows what her reasons were for not having her picture taken next to her car? I mean,
and 20,000 man hours couldn't find her directly beside where she went missing, and some YouTubers pull up and they're like, look, guys, found her really fast. I don't care who you are. If you have common sense and know anything about anything, you know that sounds like bullshit. It just does. The question is why. So anyway, I get on YouTube after I just come across this section of YouTube. It's all about true crime, whatever true crime is. I'm still not sure what that means. And I run across this guy named Icked Mel.
You know, I got to be honest. Ryan, you and I are in agreement there. I don't know what the fuck true crime is anymore either. That's why I hashtag real crime in my videos, because I just don't want to call this shit true crime, because I don't want to be lumped up with idiots like you. I don't want to be. I don't want to be lumped up with idiots like you and idiots like Prayer Garden of America and idiots like Bullhorn Betty. I don't want to be lumped up with morons like you. I refuse to call it true crime when I cover cases. Because first of all, I'm not even that good at it. But I mean, I do the minimum, which is stick to facts. It's the easiest thing to do. Like, as fucking dumb as I am, because we saw a display of how stupid I can be at the beginning of this stream. I was still getting my legs. I apologize. But we saw that example. But even still, with my lack of brain capacity, I could still focus on simple facts. It's very easy to do. Thank you, Gray. Thank you, Gray. Now, this is actually Gray Hughes. This is the real Gray Hughes. This is not Gray Pubes that shows up in Morbid's chat. And Gray, you're always welcome here. You know, we still love you, buddy.
He's a true crime YouTuber. Well, he's interviewing this guy named Ronnie on the phone, who's explaining the party. And it sounds like at first, it sounds like he was there. And then he's like, no, it was my cousins were there. They seen the party. They seen that girl. They said she was super fucking intoxicated and just wasn't even there. And there was some adults there. And
okay. First of all, Ronnie's credibility is shit. We already know this. Ronnie blew his credibility. And that's not a poor reflection on Ick and Mel. I want to be clear about that. I open my phone lines. I open my phone line up here and people can call in. I don't have control over what people say on my when they call in. I don't have control. Morbid doesn't have control over what people say when he opens up panel. You don't have control over that. So all Ick and Mel did was let a caller talk. That's all he did. There's absolutely nothing. there's absolutely nothing in any way. There's absolutely nothing in any way that is nefarious about what or morally questionable about what Ickadmel did, or ethically questionable as a YouTuber what Ickadmel did by having this person call in and indulging his story. If somebody calls in and they tell me that, I'm going to listen to it.
And yada, 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 yada. I'm just like, what the hell?
And there was a bunch of kids there. Like, there was a bunch of kids in school there, but like it was mixed with older adults who had the drugs. And my cousins were one of the older group that had the stuff. And my cousins are 25 and 26 years old.
So then as I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, this Ronnie guy who was calling this true crime YouTuber Ickadmel is being like, hey, yeah, my cousins were there. They're adults. They brought drugs there to the party of a fuck ton of kids. Bro. So I'm like, well, that was fucking weird. This random guy just called and was like, yeah, I fucking seen the whole thing. So I started.
Yeah, why? I mean, I remember thinking myself at the time, like, why the fuck is this guy ratting out his cousins and shit, saying that he got a bunch of kids fucking high? You know, what does he get out of like saying this? I just did not. Yeah, I personally did not at the time like really invest much of anything into what this Ronnie person was saying on Ickadmel's phone line. I just didn't.
I start scrolling. I'm like, okay, well, I see this little thing where her alleged friends, really, really close friends, threw this thing for her at the place she went missing. And her friends that were at the party are talking about the party to the news. This is what the alleged best friend of Kiely says.
I told her, like, I'm leaving. I already have another ride because I didn't want to drive home with her. And so I had told her that, but she still ended up calling me at 12:36 asking if I needed a ride, and she sounded just really drunk, I guess. It grew to be way.
This shit is always fun to me. Hold on. Bro, listen. Keep it 100. Listen. Okay? I remember talking to you last night. Okay? Let me just say this. Okay? Just because it's a party, everybody's kind of around the same age. And I realize that a lot of people disagree with me when it comes to giving a little leeway to a kid when they just graduate high school. I'm of the opinion that if my kid, and I've stated this many times, I am personally of the opinion, if I had a kid like Kiely Rodni who showed the kind of responsibility and kind of initiative to better themselves and work towards goals on their own and put that hard work in that she did, by graduating high school early, you had to put in some heavy work for that. So by putting in the extra work, she earned the right to show a little, to be given some level of leeway as far as her maturity goes. She's earned it. She showed the maturity. She earned that with her mom. I am never, ever going to blame Kiely's mom for giving her the freedom to go celebrate her very, very rare accomplishment with her friends. She absolutely earned and deserved that. Unfortunately, the worst possible scenario took place. But that is not Kiely's mom's fault. I feel like her friends probably should have been a little bit more responsible as far as taking better care of her. I feel that way, but at the same time, they are not to blame because they're just kids too. Even some are legal adults because the eyes of the law see them as that. But at the same time, you can't expect them to be these responsible grown-ups and make her their responsibility. Would it have been the right thing to do? Sure. But it doesn't make them at fault because Kiely drove home. That is not their fault. Kiely showed enough maturity to be able to take care of herself, and maybe her friends thought that she could take care of herself. Who knows? But none of these people conspired to hurt her in any way. They were all worried about themselves and having their own good time. That happens at parties with young people. Bad things happen at parties with young people, and sometimes it's because they were irresponsible. But guess what? Kids are expected to be irresponsible sometimes. This is something that these kids are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. But to blame them is absurd. Tracy, not Tracy, thank you. Sorry for the interruption, but wanted to say hey and preach before I left the chat for dinner. Well, I'm glad you stopped by before your dinner, and I hope you have an excellent dinner. Thank you so much. It's mind-blowing to me that people are just want to like justify their bullshit foul play theories that none of them hold any water, and they can't stick to one foul play theory. None of them can. And then the end result is, well, then it's Kylie's mom's fault because she should have never let her go to a party where she was going to be drinking. And well, it's her friend's fault because they're older than she is and they should have looked out for her and made sure that she got home. I mean, sure. Could more responsible behavior been expressed, been demonstrated? Should that have happened? I mean, it would have been nice, but it's not to be totally expected. These are still kids. And they're all kids who earned the right to celebrate their accomplishment. Not just Kiely, but Sammy too. And Jagger wasn't even there.
Way larger than ever expected. There was a lot of guys that did approach us.
Okay, so you hear that? So you mean to tell me this missing teen, Kiely Rodni, her best friend, Sammy Smith, the girl you just seen, and the random caller on the Ickmel dude's channel who does the true crime shit, they both have the same story. Keep in mind.
36 asking if I needed a ride, and she sounded just really drunk, I guess. It grew to be way larger than ever expected. There was a lot of guys that did approach us.
Okay, so do you hear that?
She said that there was a lot of guys that approached them. Yeah. Guess what? If I'm that age at a party and there's pretty girls, I'm going to approach them. She didn't say older guys. She didn't say guys that look suspicious that shouldn't have been there. She said guys tried to approach us. You know why guys go to a party at that age? To approach girls. That's what they do. That's what they do. You know how fucking horny a 19-year-old kid is? Do you have any fucking idea? Like, you all know how horny a 19-year-old young man is. There's nothing hornier in the world. There is literally nothing hornier in the world than a 19-year-old boy. I mean, it's just that simple. What do you think they're doing? Of course they're going to approach them. And in no way, shape, or form did she tell the same story that the Ronnie guy said. At no point. It did not happen. She just described the common basic behavior at a party. Guys tried to approach him. Sure. Yeah, a bunch of guys tried to approach us. Of course. Sammy's a pretty girl. Kiely was a pretty girl. Of course guys are going to try to approach them.
So you mean to tell me this missing teen, Kiely Rodni, her best friend, Sammy Smith, the girl you just seen, and the random caller on the Ickmel dude's channel who does the true crime shit, they both have the same story. Keep in mind, this is before she was found. And at this time, I didn't really think anything about the Ickmel dude. I was just like, yo, that guy that called you, that was kind of weird how he do all this shit. The same.
Bro, Mo, what do you mean? Your son is about to be 19? Shh, bro. What do you mean? Like, if you think it's just starting now, if you think it's just now starting to happen, him being 19, no, dude. He's been locking his door for a minute now. I promise. Guaranteed.
The same shit that the Sammy girl knew. How's that possible? He's a grown-ass man. That's a little girl. What the fuck's up with this? So one day I called it out. I was like, yo, what's up with the Ronnie guy, bro? Next thing I know, the Ickmel dude is mad at me. The Ronnie dude is mad at me. And they're both on that true crime channel that Ickmel owns, doing this very weird interview.
See, he fails to answer. He fails to express why they were mad at him. I mean, I'd probably be a little miffed at you myself if you sat there and implied that if you break down my name like Scooby-Doo, that it's code for sex trafficking. Yeah, of course you're going to be miffed at you. You have 3 million subs. All of a sudden, you got a bunch of fucking idiot, probably inbred morons coming after them because this guy, whoever the fuck he is, fucking makes, they think that what you say is gospel. So of course they're miffed at you, bro. Of course they're upset. Of course they're mad. That is you totally misusing your platform. And I mean, dude, of course they're mad.
Where dude pixelated the entire background so you couldn't see anything. And they're on there and they're like, what's wrong with that Upchurch guy?
Bro, he edited out his background so that he wouldn't dox himself, so he wouldn't get doxed. Because he has a bunch of fucking psycho rednecks thinking that he's a sex trafficker and a murderer. Because of you. Because of you. Directly because of you. Of course. Of course. He's going to protect his identity. He's going to protect the things that are going to show in his background to keep him from getting doxxed so your idiot followers don't go after him. Because it's your idiot followers that show up in people's chats going, Creek Squad, you better watch out. Ryan's going to get you. We're going to get you. You ever been in a fight before? Blah, 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 blah. That's the kind of bullshit idiocy that comes from your fucking followers, dude. Of course they're going to blur out the backgrounds of where they are to protect themselves from your dumb ass.
Is he on drugs? I mean, is he an idiot? Is he stupid? He must be. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Bro.
There's a chance to get heat off of me. So I put his name in the bio.
And it worked.
Bro, of course, bro. Of course they were assuming that you were on drugs. By assuming that you were on drugs, it's giving you the benefit of the doubt. Because if you're not on drugs, you need a team of psychiatrists around you, bro. Straight up. Like, if you're sitting there and acting like, if you're sitting there and you're acting like that just naturally, you think that shit is actually, because either you're just being funny and you're trolling, or you're on drugs, or you have serious mental health issues that need addressing bad. So that's giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're on drugs. You can just stop doing drugs. You know, you could just look at your behavior on the internet and go, you know what? Fuck, that's just sober up for a day and watch your own shit and go, Jesus, fuck. All right. But you're not doing that, are you? You keep defending your actions. And that's why you're getting sued.
Because Ryan was already fishy of him, and I'm not going to say it because he's going to get pissed because if I start talking shit to him, he went ahead and was like, oh, look, it's a conspiracy. I was like, bro, you really are dumb. Like, you really are dumb, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry.
Wrong.
And when I seen this clip, I noticed he said, hey, this is a chance to get heat off me.
It's a chance to get heat off of me.
And I was like, And when this is going on, this is when the Ickmail guy started trying to paint the narrative. You know, he started calling me Alex Jones.
See what I'm talking about? I love this shit. See these trolls right here? You can't even finish a sentence without hitting send. Like, first of all, tell your parents who are both your mom and dad and your aunt and uncle, same persons, by the way, tell them to get a divorce so that it sets the example and you don't follow that example and fuck your sibling and make more people like you. Because we need to be able to read, bro. Please express yourself like an intelligent person. Hey, 47-year-old YouTube fucktard. Who are you like you just fucking had a fucking brain meltdown, like a fucking a brain hiccup in mid-sentence typing. This is the kind of person that supports Ryan Upchurch. Like, unreal. I'm just going to leave that up there. See what I mean? Hey, retard. My mom died in 1998. Say that shit to my safe, YouTube fuckwad. I mean, you are an island in an ocean of logical people. You are an island of stupid in an ocean of logical people here. Kills me, dude. Like, how you don't see that. Sorry that your mom died. Who the fuck is talking about anybody's fucking mom? Oh, yeah, that's right. I said that your mom and your dad were brother and sister. Well, you know, sorry for your loss, though.
And saying something's wrong with him. Oh, man, what's wrong with him?
There's nothing wrong with him.
So at that point, I'm like, something is wrong with me because I asked a legitimate question about the guy that called your true crime YouTube, being like, hey, bro.
At no point have you asked a legitimate question, for the record.
Well, I've seen everything. I'm not accepting that, no. About the same time, another random true crime YouTuber named Zanime pops up out of nowhere. And listen, when I say pops up out of nowhere, I mean, she didn't really have a YouTube channel at all. She had like 2 videos about Ukraine and weapons.
There were some munitions were spotted or deployed in Ukraine. Airdrop, a ground-launched explosive weapon that releases or ejects smaller submunitions. Commonly, this is a cluster bomb that ejects explosive bomblets that are designed to kill personnel and destroy vehicles. Other cluster munitions are designed to destroy runaways or electric power transmission lines, disperse chemical or biological weapons.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, looking at this lady's page, and I'm like, how do you go from Ukraine and weapons to true crime within like 3 videos? Keep in mind, the Kiely Rodni girl's car is not found at this point. Everyone's still looking for it.
Let's just be honest, though. Like, I realize that not everyone with that accent thinks like he does, but most people that support this guy and thinks like he does has that accent. Let's just be honest.
Looking for it. So I see her on some true crime panels and stuff, talking about the Kiely Rodni girl. So I click on her page. When I click on it, what do I see? This lady is in Prosser Reservoir, where the little girl went missing, where the car is still at this time. And she is pedaling and swimming and looking around the whole campground where the little girl went missing.
There's a steep hill. Okay. And we're here.
1, what are you doing there? 2, did you hear her go, we're here?
We're here.
And the little tag in the corner that said campground. What, you weren't there when you pulled up?
Because the campground was her destination, and because it's a popular place to kayak at. Kill shot report, gifted a membership. Congrats to Evil Queen Yaya. Thank you. I mean, he totally sounds butthurt, dude. Morbid said, Ryan sounds butthurt. When is this man child going to act like a real man without having to throw public tantrums? I agree. It's all he does. it's all he does. And that's why his followers throw these tantrums in people's chats. You know, it's so ridiculous. And like, all he has to do is just take some accountability.
But you had to pull up, put your canoe in, paddle all the way over there to somewhere where you could drive to if you wanted to. And then you're like, yep, we're here, as you pull out your phone and show that that's exactly where the car went in the water. So then I comment on one of her videos and I'm like, hey, kind of weird that you're there. What are you doing over there? She's like, fuck you, I hate you. What's wrong with you? Everyone's worried about you. All your fans are worried about you. Are you on drugs? And I'm like, why are you saying the same thing that Ikmail and Ronnie said, bro? So she keeps telling me over and over. She's like, your community is worried about you. Finally, I was just like, shut up.
Now,
Your community.
Shut up,
a little
lady.
bit further.
Okay, let's see the video. Let's get the video.
So then here's where she starts her discrediting process. She's like, oh, well, he said this and this. And I'm like, I didn't say any of those things. Prove it. And she couldn't.
I got no problems with calling Ryan Upchurch out on it, but he's saying he didn't say it. You can't accuse somebody of saying something they didn't say.
You want proof?
Well,
hold on.
Why are you so scared? You want proof? Hold on. Why are you so defensive?
Right, what do you
I'm
have?
pressing your ass. Ronnie seeing somebody at the fucking party. You seeing the party. The little girl went missing around the fucking party. Are you all stupid as fuck or something? Do y'all not understand?
Hear that one more time.
Defensive.
What do you
I'm
have?
pressing your ass. Ronnie seen somebody at the fucking party. You seen the party. The little girl went missing around the fucking party. Are you all?
All right. Let me elaborate on that just a little bit, because Zanime never said that she saw the party. Zanime said that she saw a beautiful Hispanic party. That is what she said. Those were the words that came out of her mouth. A beautiful Hispanic party. That's what she said. That shit could have been a fucking quinceañera, bro. Like, it's that could have been anything. That could have been anything. Could have been a fucking wedding reception. Could have been fucking anything. But it was a Hispanic party made up of predominantly Hispanic people celebrating something. That's not the nature or the vibe at the party in question, is it? I mean, it's a campground. There's going to be parties. Why do you think they all went to that area to party? Because there was going to be underage drinking, and there was going to be probably some substance abuse taking place, or substance use taking place. And they didn't want to be fucked with by the cops. They didn't want the that's what you did as a kid. You would find probably the most remote spot that you could find that is going to be less likely for police to roll up and start shining lights on you and go, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? It's Teenage 101.
All stupid as fuck or something? Do y'all not understand? Even the people in chat, no.
All right, so now let's put the timeline together. Do you realize now that means, so now you got this Ronnie guy who's calling into Ickmel's true crime show. He's like, my cousins were there and seen everything. You got Sammy, who is the little girl's best friend, who was like, I was there and then left, but I'm the last person Kylie talked to. Now you got this anime chick who's like, yeah, I seen the party and was there. No, and the next day, Kadu isn't there. No, they're all in some way, shape, or form at this party. This little girl went missing at that.
I do admit that it's a hell of a coincidence that she was at the exact same place, that Zanime was at the exact same place. But there's no reason to believe that there's anything other than coincidence there, because it is a very public place. And it's a very well-known spot to go kayaking. It's very peaceful. It's very beautiful. Northern California is gorgeous. And she probably Googled where the fucking nicest place to launch out of a kayak is, and she fucking went there. Like, listen, I don't know Zanime. I don't know how smart she is. I really don't. But I don't get the vibe from her that she is stupid enough to put a video on her channel of this place that she is coincidentally at where a missing girl just took place, if she had something to do with this missing girl going missing. I don't know anybody that fucking stupid. Like, she doesn't strike me as that stupid. Just saying. I don't know anybody that fucking stupid. Never. It's why the fuck would she do that? And tag and show, and she edited the video. She made this really nice video, like, and she's gonna put this thing together and be like, place me at the place that I just did some fucked up shit, please. Can you here? Hold on. You don't have any evidence? Hold on. Let me put some real. I'm gonna take some time and put some evidence together for you, and I'm gonna make it nice. I'm gonna add some music. Yeah. No, man. Nobody's that fucking dumb. Why would she do that?
Apparently nobody's seen. And not to mention, they all take up for each other when they apparently don't know each other at all.
And I appreciate that lady. I think her name's like Zanime or something.
Zanime.
Yeah, she was defending me.
So I'm like, bruh, all these people are capping. Why are they all have the same story? Why are they all lying? And why?
No. Don't misunderstand Cagney Walker. I'm not complaining about him being mean. I'm complaining about him being stupid. Now, he is being mean. Like his stupidity boils over to being mean. Like that's what he doesn't seem to understand, because he, with his large following, is simply just not letting this poor girl rest in peace, not letting her family mourn her peacefully. That is what you idiots don't understand. And that's why I don't feel guilty calling you idiots, because your stupidity clouds your sense of empathy. Because here you are having all this empathy for Ryan Upchurch and not giving a fuck that he doesn't give a fuck about a family who just lost their little girl a year ago and still can't mourn her in peace. So, no, I don't feel guilty at all being mean to Ryan Upchurch. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody, clearly.
I just so happens the weekend this little girl went missing, everybody's eyeballs is broke. So I'm like, okay, you got 300 kids at this party and nobody said shit. Just 4 dumbass adults on here being like, I seen the kid party. So I'm like, dude, I got a good way to tell if this is bullshit or not. If a kid knows something about something that he didn't do, if a kid seen anything happen at this party, I'm going to offer him $100,000 in a Hellcat. Then we'll see who really was at the party. What kid's going to say no to $100,000 in a fucking, the rapper car? So I put the offer out there. This is what happened. So
now what he says here about the $100,000, about what the $100,000 and the Hellcat are, turn out to be true. I have said that that I didn't think that he actually gave up the $100,000 or the Hellcat, but I was on Deets on the Streets panel. I was politely corrected because Deets on the Streets went on to the AWP website and there were questions commonly asked, and those were questions that were commonly asked, and they answered and said and confirmed that he donated the $100,000 to Jared Lysick, and the Hellcat was donated to a member of AWP, who he confirms here is Doug Bishop. So I am corrected there. So Ryan actually did that, but that has nothing to do. And then I'm talking to you, Ryan Upchurch, cuck squatters. That has nothing to do with why he's being sued by Kiely's family. It has zero to do with why he's being sued by Kiely's family, because he's not doing anything to make what he's done to them right. Because not only did AWP, they found Kiely's car, but the way that they handled it was the worst possible way that anybody could have handled it who would have found Kiely's car. They rushed for clout to post it on Facebook before even contacting any member of the family. Kiely's mom had to find out from a waitress at a restaurant that she was eating at because it was seen on Facebook. That is no way to find that out. They didn't have any respect for Kiely's family at all. All Jared cared about was the clout. And his actions showed this. And on top of that, they put out this video. They create and then put out a video that implicates some of Kiely's loved ones and say it's foul play, as if they're investigators, in an attempt to have a pitch for some bullshit reality show. Jared Lysick, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jared Lysick is a opportunistic piece of shit. And I'm happy to say that. That is my opinion. I believe Jared Lysick to be an opportunistic piece of shit. And I have plenty of evidence to show why I believe that. Because respect for this family was a distant, not even second, third, whatever. He did not seem to have any respect for this family. So that's why you never see them publicly thank AWP for finding Kiely's car and getting that closure, because the whole point is closure. Let me expand on that for a second. If everybody's fucking given, Adventures with Purpose a round of applause because they fucking found Kiely's car, because why? Why are they doing that? Because they brought Kiely's family closure, right? Well, how is it closure when they tell their millions of subscribers and their millions of followers that there's foul play when there's nothing to indicate that there's foul play? And everybody is taking her loved ones. Everyone's taking her loved ones and trying to create some sort of theory that they had something to do with this foul play, that this narrative is what AWP had put out there. This foul play narrative that AWP perpetuated. Now there's these idiot YouTubers with their hundreds of thousands of subs, or almost hundreds of thousands of subs, like Zav Girl, who we all know about her credibility at this point, sat there and implicated innocent kids. Why would Kiely's family thank them for closure when they did the opposite of bringing them closure? They just created more of a circus by finding her. That's the worst thing you could have done. It's worse than not finding her in some opinions. It's worse than not finding her to some people. And if you notice, it's all the shittiest, most opportunistic YouTubers that are perpetuating this narrative.
Right before she was found, you know, where everybody's like, oh my God, where's she at? This, that, and the other. And, you know, everybody who's kind of sleuthing and talking about it on the true crime, they're all going to each other's throats and being like, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. What are you doing to help? And I see everybody like arguing with each other. So I figured, okay, she went missing at a party full of teenagers. Someone's got to know something. So I offered $100,000 and my $100,000 Hellcat to whoever had tips leading.
And the footage proves that nobody had to know nothing. They just had to see her drive away. Not even. Somebody could have seen her drive away and not even realize that it's her. And then that footage that we see is that car going in the water. Because the timestamp matches up. The timestamp from the fire cameras matches up to the phone pings and the accounts given as to when she left. It matches up. And you absolutely see a car going into a body of water at full speed. So, I mean, there's no evidence that there was any foul play at all. That should have been the closure that this family and all of her loved ones should have gotten from and got to build their healing from there. That should have been the closure. And people like him, people like Zav Girl, robbed them of that. People like AWP robbed that family and those loved ones of that.
Leading directly to her or to anyone who just flat out found her. So you got this little girl missing. No one can find her. No teenager knows where she went. Nothing.
Yeah, no. And big props again. I'm never going to fucking say this without giving Gray Hughes props, because everybody was like, that doesn't show anything. And Gray Hughes, being the tech savvy person with a great heart that he is, ended up taking because it's a fire camera. It stays still. It stays in the same spot, points at the same spot, doesn't ever move, but it's always recording. So what he did was he overlapped a different time frame over that footage so that it was daytime and you can see where the car was going into. I will always give Gray props for that. Gray fucking killed it with that. Made it just crystal clear. As crystal clear as that quality of fucking fire camera is, which isn't much, but you can absolutely see the roads and the body of water, and you could see the headlights and the car. And it all matches up with the timestamps of when she left this party. It all matches up, and it perfectly matches up with when her phone stops working, when her phone just goes offline.
And then all of a sudden, I put out a reward that is bigger than any reward that's out for her. Why? Because my heart's like this big around. In my head, I'm thinking, well, shit, I'm lucky enough to have a job I like. I'm rich. I could spare $200,000, see if anybody can find her. She's found in the next few days by Adventures with Purpose.
And
when I seen the news, she was found.
I'm a fair guy, okay? Not only was I wrong about him not giving the money, he did, but I also believe that he was doing that out of the kindness of his heart. I felt like that was the one productive thing that he did with his status on YouTube and his status and fame was, I'm going to offer a reward if there's no reward. I thought that was absolutely a very kind thing to do. And I will not take that away from him. I do believe that.
Just found, I was like, damn, all right. Well, I got cold chills even thinking about it. I was like, well, I'm gonna hold up mine to the deal. I'm a man of my word. So I had my accountant at the time send $100,000 to Jared Lasik, and I gave Doug the Hellcat, and had the Hellcat delivered by my security guard. Drove it all the way to his house, dropped it off.
I'm also kind of a dick though. Like, I wonder if that's a tax write-off. I wonder if that's why he had his accountant send it.
Back home. So after she's found, then what happens? Jared Lasik all over the internet. Everybody's like, oh, he's a weirdo. He did some weird sexual shit. And I'm like, what? I see it on the internet. I haven't looked into it, but I see it. And at first I was like, hell, who knows? It could be just somebody doesn't like it.
He didn't do some weird sexual shit. Allegedly, he raped his cousin. Okay? Allegedly. He raped his cousin. Not some weird sexual shit. He fucking raped her. Allegedly.
Until I seen all of AWP get online and quit AWP. So right before everybody in AWP got on the internet and was like, hey, we quit AWP, somebody came to my house. I'm not going to say who. And he was like, somebody very close to the whole finding of this car and whatnot. They come to me and they were like, I'm scared. I was like, why? And he was like, this involves like higher up people. I was like, who? He gave me a few names. And I was like, even I was kind of like, this motherfucker's crazy. About a week after.
See, what that tells me is that was just someone trying to promote AWP. Trying to promote that video where they say it's foul play, and they're trying to build it to be something more than it was, because that's AWP gets the credit for finding Kiely's car. And in the video where they do this, they say, we suspect foul play. What do you think? I think it's foul play, blah, blah, blah. Even though these guys fucking don't know shit other than fucking magnets in water that fucking latch onto cars and go, there's the car. It's all these fucking guys know how to do. They don't know shit about investigations. They don't know shit about the law. They don't know shit about anything other than there's a big fucking hunk of metal in the water. Let's find it. That's it. But what they do know about, or at least what Jared knows about, is promotion. That's what Jared knows. Jared knows how to make things bigger than what they are in order to sell something. And what he was trying to do was sell the popularity of his channel so that they could possibly get something bigger out of it, like maybe a reality show. And so, whoever it was that showed up to this dickhead's house, I guarantee you knew how much of a fucking idiot he is and used him to put that information out there. Used him to perpetuate the narrative more because it blows up AWP's finding of Kiely Rodni's video more, which in turn blows them up more. That is the closest thing to a conspiracy in this whole situation that makes any fucking sense, people. You got to use your eyes.
After everybody quit AWP. It's not a thing. Now, the family that I put up $200,000 to find their daughter is like, hey, we're suing you for defamation of character. Defamation of character?
Okay. Now, right there, folks, right there is Ryan Upchurch admitting to his fans that he's being sued by Kiely Rodni's family. I mean, could it be any clearer? Could it be any clearer?
This motherfucker's crazy. And then about a week after, everybody quit AWP. It's not a thing. Now, the family that I put up $200,000 to find their daughter is like, hey, we're suing you for defamation of character. Defamation of character? Huh? So there you go. I don't know what the fuck that means. I know it's fucking creepy and weird. And
it's creepy and weird that they're suing you for defamation of character. I'm sure your lawyer tried to explain it to you, but I'll go ahead and explain it to you in layman's terms because all I am is a layman at best. But the fact is, defamation of character means that all of the shit that you said by saying that A, Kiely Rodni is not real, and B, implying that her family had something to do with it, which you did more than once, had to do something with her disappearance, which you did more than once. And we went over the lawsuit. It's all there. All you got to do is read it. They go into detail as to why they have grounds to sue you for defamation of character. It's all there.
it's like, what do you think after that? A normal person is like, wait a minute. Was this all bullshit? Was this like entertainment? Was this like some kind of fucked up entertainment? Or some kind of criminal operation? What the fuck was this? I have a theory on what all this was.
Oh,
with pretty valid points behind it.
Of course you do.
But I had to make this video so everyone understands what this is, so everyone understands the timeline, so everybody is just on the same page.
Yeah.
Because see, that's the thing. They purposely make it.
And you also accuse the family of faking her death and making her up for the sake of a GoFundMe scam. So you called them thieves and grifters, basically. That's defamation of character when it's not true.
Perplexed enough and complicated to where it sounds confusing. Well, that's how you would get away with, you know, a crime. If you want to hear my theory, let me know in the comments. That video will be next. And it's a mind fuck.
It's,
to say the least.
Of course. Of course it's a mind fuck. All right. All right. Anybody wants to call in, they can call in. Do this for another little while. All right. Mr. David Robertson is here. Grandpa, I suggest you comment to a minimum or be very careful what your comments are, Mr. Robertson. Everyone here in the chat respects you. My community, at least, respects you. So since you are in the middle of litigation with this person, it might be best to just keep your comments. You know, that would be my recommendation to you. But everyone here loves and supports you. And much love to your family. And to all of Kiely's loved ones, all of her friends and loved ones. Yeah, this number might be expiring for me, so I might have to go get a new one, and I may not be able to take calls tonight, but try to call in. If you can't get through, then that's why, and we're not doing that. So Hey. You're on. Who am I speaking with? Oh, they hung up. But the number works, so try to call in. And I'm not opening panel. Just call me Hen. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, it's Amy. I don't know what to say, but all I can say, I'm from New Jersey. You know, I've called before.
Right. I remember you, Amy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just a little tired, a little migraine things going on, but I figured I'll still call in because I like calling into everybody and
Feel that. And I'm out of ibuprofen. I got to refill that.
I took ibuprofen just now, but I just think that he's just one of these QAnon guys, in my opinion, at this point. And this whole thing was to sell records or sell whatever you want to call it, sell himself some concert tickets and get him some sales on YouTube for his new releases. And I don't know. I just think
I don't know much about QAnon, but Ryan doesn't strike me, from the very little that I know about it. He doesn't strike me as a QAnon guy. But
I mentioned it, and someone said there was something. I think it was Ben Thrifton. He had said that there was one. I'm not going to be. I don't know what video it was, but he said he knew there was some video which he mentioned that concept. And all I could see is he's going around 4chan or whatever those crazy dark web things are, and getting these crazy ideas. Just to come out and make people think all of these things like Alex Jones stuff, you know, and I think people just went along with it, with him dropping all those $500 super chats in their live streams, and it just was like a big mushroom cloud. And I just think it's really unfortunate that he is not taking it seriously, because he's going to be penniless at one point.
I mean, I think it's unfortunate for the family that he's not taking it seriously, because he's continuing the very abuse that he's being sued for. But it's good for them for the lawsuit.
No, it adds to their discovery. It adds to the discovery.
I mean, he's just making the lawsuit way more easier for them to, and he just doesn't seem to care. I could sit here and say this to him, and he's just going to not care. So, you know.
Exactly. But all I can say is I think that chewing tobacco went straight to his brain, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
I'm just like, to listen to him, he's sucking on that crap all day, and he sounds like like the way he's, not to be mean about someone speaking, but like you're talking like that, and it makes you sound like more of an idiot, to be quite honest with me.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know what to say. But I just hope that they get justice, and that he I don't know, he's a little young. He's not going to learn his lesson right now.
Yeah.
And
he's too stubborn. Yeah, he's too stubborn.
Right, and who knows what his mother was trying to do? Maybe his mother was trying to protect him by taking the money. So because
I don't have any opinions on that. You know, as far as the lawsuit between him and his mom, I honestly don't have any opinions on that. I watched the last hearing, but mostly, like I said, I was just like kind of excited to see Judge Wolf handling it, because he's just one of my favorites. But besides that, I mean, it doesn't look like his mom stands a chance, because she doesn't seem to understand the severity of what's going on. And she's like, she doesn't have an attorney. And I think Judge Wolf saw this and gave her some leeway, because she doesn't have an attorney representing her. And he asked her, like, do you have an attorney? And she was like, well, she's my attorney, pointing at Ryan Upchurch's attorney. And I'm like, oh man, this poor lady, she has no fucking idea what to do here. That's not your attorney. That's his attorney.
Right.
Like, you got to go get your own.
Well, the thing is that him and BHB really are like the same with the way they're reacting to these lawsuits.
Right.
And it's not going to do anybody any good. And I think they will get money out of him, but I don't think that he's going to learn his lesson even after this.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you.
You know, when you feel, you know, as entitled as he seems to, because I do think that he makes an effort to some degree of being grateful for what he has. You know,
right.
I think that he feels fortunate. I have to be fair, but I also feel that he has a lot of things that come with that, in all different directions, like the stuff happening with his family, the stuff happening with people that are just latching onto him and expecting him to take care of them, and you know, it kind of I feel like his intention of feeling fortunate and wanting to give back to the people that surround him is backfiring on him. And
but then,
that's not his fault. That's not his fault, you know. But it's probably affecting him psychologically and affecting his behavior, and has a lot to do with what's going on with how he's handling the Kiely Rodni case. That's my personal, uneducated opinion.
But I look at it this way: he was complaining that his mother is the cause of him not even having a wife and having children at this point in his life. But my thing is that his behavior is also contributing to that, because some people, you know, will look at that as a red flag. And who's going to want to date or marry someone that's going through this and is such like a loose cannon and doesn't think things through.
I mean, you know,
so
and
he's like, you know, you can't blame someone for that. You can't blame your mother. It's your own fault. So, you know, he has to look at himself instead of other people for his problems, in my opinion. So, and take responsibility and grow up. So, and maybe it's good that he's not a parent, because he needs to grow up even before becoming a husband or a father, in my opinion. So that's about it. Okay.
All right. I'm going to take this next call. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. Oh, shit. I missed it. Just got to wait for the next caller to come through. All right. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Will. My name is Valentina.
Valentina. Hi.
Yes, I'm a Zename mom.
Oh, you're Xanime's mom. Hi. We've spoken before.
Yes, we did.
Yes. How are
I
you?
just want to say for everyone, thank you for defending my daughter, because I know she done nothing.
No,
she
she
stand
didn't
up
do
for
anything.
right, and that's what happened.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're all aware. Everyone involved that's discussing this that has any common sense knows that Zanime did not have anything to do with anything that the things that Ryan is saying. So yeah, we're all aware.
Yeah, same as active now, and maybe that's Ronnie guy too. He just want to be famous, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Burden of proof. I mean, I have no control over the order in which I take calls, but
oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, I'm glad you called in. So yeah, anything that you want to, yeah, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Yeah, you were actually first person. You and Cinema Shotgun started to see it through, and I am very, very appreciative.
Yeah, I like Cinema Shogun.
Yes, thank you, and thank you very much for all your community. I always actually in your chat and Morbid and everybody else. I'm becoming YouTuber too.
Well, we're glad. We're yeah. Welcome to the community. You actually have all.
I've never been in my age thinking I will be becoming YouTuber. So
Right on.
thank you, Mr. Upchurch.
Right on. No, that's great. Thank you so much. Everybody here supports you. So good luck with your channel.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, and have a great day or evening, everybody.
Right on. Thank you. Bye. That was sweet. It's up crack, actually. I can now.
Hi.
Hey,
Burden.
who am I speaking with?
Burden.
Oh, Burden of Proof. What's up?
Hey. Nothing. I based off of 2 calls ago. I just want to say, like, that's not right that he's going to collect collateral damage off of Kiely's family just because of what's, maybe occurred with his mother or other so-called friends of his that have done him wrong.
Right.
It's upsetting to me. They're victims, period, and they don't deserve any of what he's put them through.
Yeah,
Nor
I'm not defending him in any way, shape, or form. I just want to be clear. Like, I mean, part of what we do here is try to understand why somebody does what they do. So I'm just trying to be, I guess, somewhat empathetic to his situation and trying to understand what's driving his behavior. But in no way, shape, or form am I defending it, because I think, yeah, I think that he absolutely deserves what is happening to him legally at this point.
Yeah. No, I totally get the trying to understand maybe why someone has the behavior that they have. I just feel, especially now, he shouldn't be doubling down, or really it's like quadruple plus some down with the family, with everybody from Ronnie to Good Mel to Santa Mae to Sammy and Jagger and myself. Like, completely nobody had nothing more than trying to put awareness out, and he doesn't care. Even when I confronted him, he, to my face, kept screaming at me to sue him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care.
No, he does not care. And the way that Jared treated you in your chat when you were streaming his, because I know you and I know your channel. And by the way, guys, mods, if you can drop a Burden of Proof's chat or Burden of Proof's channel link in the chat, I would really appreciate it. The way that he, because I mean, I know you probably were dropping the link to the channel and everything, and you weren't in any way trashing AWP that I know of. You were just going over the fact that she was found and there was footage of it, because I know that your channel is absolutely fact driven. So
well, then on top of it, I was over on, because I didn't have a second monitor yet, so I was over on the page, the tab showing it, and push play and was letting it get through a clip, and it was actually right when the family had just found out, and I was pausing it, and then when I looked back at my phone to try to see what was going on, I saw they said AWP commented, "I'm a blonde," and I was like, where? Let me see. Like, so I went to the video that I was on and scrolled down. I'm like, no, I don't see that they commented, until I realized they were in my chat. I was like, I wouldn't have expected that. And so, and at that point, that's why they got out already, like 3 threats against me. Like, shut it down right now. That's it. Shut it down. We're reporting you. We're going to strike you. And
what
I
a
was
bully.
like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and I got so scared, Claire. I accidentally dropped my StreamYard link instead of dropping the link again to their video.
Oh.
And
Because you were nervous and you were, that happens to me all the time where I'm just like, oh, what do I do? And yeah, totally. And I become all thumbs. Totally. Yeah, that sucks, man.
And then he showed up on the screen and I'm like, you're not going to yell at me if I bring you up, are you? And he shook his head and he goes, no, not at all. Because I had already said I'll shut it down and I'll delete the whole thing. You wanted me to delete the whole thing. And I said, I'll shut it down, I'll delete it. And so I turned it on and brought him up and he yelled at me again. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. That's
terrible.
Yeah, that guy sucks. Jared Lysick, you suck. You're a terrible person, bro.
I was so embarrassed. And then I ended up finding out that you covered it. And I was like, I had like that other second.
You suck.
They're really sweet. And so I appreciated that. But, yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, you do great stuff with your channel, man. And you talk about the cases that not just because you think they're going to get you views, that you just want to bring more awareness to. You're genuine about that. And that's why I want to promote your channel as much as I can, because if you're definitely an example of a true crime channel that should be doing true crime, because you're doing it all for the right reasons. And I'm grateful to you for that. I'm grateful to anybody in the community that's doing that. And you should definitely have a lot more followers. So guys, make sure to subscribe to Burden of Proof, and we're going to do something together on here one of these days. We'll discuss some of the cases that you're discussing and make my audience a little bit more aware of the stuff that you go over. And so if you're down, I'd love to have you as a guest and a whole live stream, just me and you going over some stuff that you want to go over. If you'd like to do that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to.
I would love to get it out to a bigger audience on any case, all the cases. And I actually have been going through a rut because of that. Like, I don't make any financial gain. I'm not monetized. I'm not here for money. I'm here for nothing more than the victims, their families and loved ones. And just, I want awareness out there. That's it. So
I know that. Yeah.
When I have like so few people, I started to get really hard on myself and feel like I'm letting down these victims. And I just felt really awful about it. And
you're not letting anybody down. It's just the way the community is, and people are just they're gonna follow what's trending. It's just how it works. So that's why I want to get you more followers so that we can make the cases that you're trying to bring awareness to be trending. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do the best I can.
When they get big, that's when I pull back, and like the Idaho 4 case, and I pulled back on that, and like all of it. Kiely, obviously I got attacked by Ryan, which is bad enough, like with Creek Squad coming in and saying that I was, call the FBI and record everything, her entire channel, and why does she have so many videos but so few of subs? And I was like, and then they're like, this girl's guilty. And just all the things, like because of the porn bot that I didn't figure out how to block yet at that point. They were saying that that's what even got it started initially, but that Ikadmel and Zanime were part of child sex trafficking was because of the bots in my comment section. And so like, I feel guilt for that. And just, the whole thing is awful, but like, I just can't. And so I backed off completely as much as I could, other than when there was, when she got found. And,
fuck all that, man. Don't let their bullying get results. Fuck that shit, man. You just keep covering and I think you've earned, I don't even want to say earned. I think you've already proven, all your videos are up. You know what I mean? So you've proven that you're not in this for the popularity of shit. So cover the popular ones if you have opinions on that. Nobody's going to judge you for that. Fuck those people if they do. I got your back. A lot of people have your back.
My thing about that is, instead of spending an hour plus repeating information that everybody else is regurgitating, there are cases that get no attention, no eyes, no one knows about them at all. And they are just as missing. They are just as much a victim, and they deserve coverage. And so I'd rather spend time to put out those that don't have a voice, as much as I can anyway, then to continue on something. Once it's picked up, like, okay, everyone's got it from here. As long as I know it's getting out, okay. And I want to get to some that people have never heard of and that the families aren't getting any help at all.
Well, maybe bring some attention, bring your perspective on the popular cases and use that to, fucking clickbait them. Who cares? I mean, not totally, but I'm saying bring some attention to, bring your perspective to some of the popular cases. And then and I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your channel, but I'm saying there's no shame in it if you use the popularity you get from that to bring awareness to the other cases that need awareness. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, I don't think there's any shame in that. I don't think there's anything unethical about that. I don't think there's any grift in that. You're a kick-ass channel. But we just got to get you the viewers. That's all.
Yeah. Ryan, I can't with him though.
Yeah,
but like, I didn't watch this one that you played tonight. I hadn't seen it. And so to hear him again, and now it's just continuing to victimize. And you are correct when you said it. It is going to help the family with what he's doing. And it's just hard. It's hard to hear it when he's, do you want to hear my theory? You want to hear what I think? It's crazy. It's like, sir,
no more. We don't want to hear your theory. Like, and yeah, he's just further going to keep doing what he's doing. And it sucks. And it's just more, it's still in the meantime, victimizing the family. It's like he's still going to get as many jabs in as he can until he's actually in court, and I think it sucks, but at the end of the day, like I said, also, once he's in court, that stuff's all documented. That stuff's all on record. So, it's
unfortunate too that he has no fear of court and lawsuits and been there, done it, no big deal. And so it's like,
which also shows that he has no respect for our justice system either.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. And it's just frustrating, but nonetheless, it doesn't discredit at all how proud I am of the family that they are in a position where they're able to, and they're ready to step forward and try to hold them accountable. And I just think the world of them. I can't imagine how difficult it's got to be, just bringing all of it up again. And obviously, if I was in a position to have gone after him, like, that's the thing that we said when I confronted him on Queen's panel. And they said, like, really, sir, you are saying this to people because more than likely no one is going to actually bring a lawsuit against you. So you sit there and scream, sue me, sue me, sue me, knowing that most can't.
Right. And knowing that most of them, especially Kiely Rodni's, like, I didn't get the impression from Kiely Rodni's mom that she would ever, because I mean, she's not. And when I had SF Investigates up here, he kind of confirmed it. He didn't speak for her because he was like, I don't know, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's because she doesn't want the fight. She just wants to mourn in peace, and these leeches take advantage of that. The creators like Zav Girl, creators like Ryan Upchurch, they take advantage of the fact, and what it boils down to, it's bullying. It's just plain bullying. So, they just take advantage of the fact that these people don't want to fight.
Right. Exactly it. That's exactly it. And that's what B. Tim actually is the one that brought it up and just said, like, a lot of them are in so much turmoil already from the loss of their loved one and whatever it is that they're going through, or, any losses that they are going through, if it's not outside of the Rodni family. But, and then a lot, it's the financial situation of putting money forward. And he thought it was hilarious. And he ended up getting angry, obviously, too. And so it's like a lot to watch it back. I mean, it's been a year, and having this all come up again, I was just like, whoa, I don't miss this. Like, right. Oh, glad we're out of it. And then to hear him starting it up again, I'm like, oh, I can't do it again.
Yeah.
And I feel awful because, like, he's throwing everybody right back out there.
I mean, but yeah, I agree with you, like, but at the same time, look at what I do here. So I'm like, Oh, yes. Look at this asshole all over again. Let's get him, you know? So it's always fun.
Yeah, and I just hope that the family is okay, you know, and I send like the biggest thoughts, prayers, wishes, all of it, everything to the family to have strength as they're going through this, because it's devastating to them.
Yeah, totally. All right. Thank you, Burden of Proof. I'm going to take this next caller because this person's relentless.
Alrighty. I can't hear it, so that's awesome for me. But thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, shit. I always get it. Just I take too long to hang up with somebody and then I miss it. So, but they were calling and calling, so I'm sure they'll call again. Come on, you can do it. Just hit redial. Just hit redial. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Yo, big round of applause for Burden of Proof in the meantime. Thank you, all of you who subscribe to her. Appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe. Okay, I guess that person gave up because I was going to take that one last call because I'm calling it. So you got about 10 seconds to call back. But anyways, guys, I want to thank everybody who called in. First of all, I appreciate that. Thank all you guys for joining me. And I want to thank all of the mods, man. And even Morbid, like you don't have to do any work as a mod. You just fucking have a wrench just to fucking have a wrench. Same reason you give out all the other wrenches on your channel. And what's up, aka Shorty? I see you. So big shout out to all of you mods, man, for working hard in the chat, considering all of the considering the trolls. You guys are very patient, very nice. Oh, we got a restricted number, folks. Let's see. You're on. Who am I speaking with? Hello. Oh, I love it. The intelligence. Please go on.
Intelligence. Please go on.
All right. Anyways, guys. Yeah, I know. It was totally the cops, man. They were coming, bro.
FBI, open up!
They got me. They got me. They got me. They got me. Oh, no. Wait. One more here. One more.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Anyways, guys, I'm wrapping this up. I love you guys very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.